in the cabbage.
Well, let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swain, Andrew Witt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Welcome back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, Tommy Swain. To my right, or your left, Andrew Witt.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, man, you jumped in early there. You jumped the gun.
I'm ready.
My man's
we're
juiced.
We're rearing, ready to go, baby.
After a full 9 to 5, my man is a juice.
Hardly right now. The office is a little bit slow. And you know what? No problem with that.
No problem with the office being slow every once in a while. I love
Right.
that. Mondays are slow for me a little bit.
Especially on a Monday, dude. I love it. For whatever reason, Costco is just like super slammed on Monday. I'm like, great, this is awesome. You
Right,
know?
so they don't really want to like deal with...
They're just trying to play catch up over the weekend, placing orders, trying to play catch up for sales and what's going on, and I'm sure in your case as well, people aren't picking up the phones. Maybe things are same kind of situation. They have their own thing, meetings, prepping for the week, so you can't get a lot of like calls and that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And connect. So
Yeah, I think it's very similar. People come in, they're catching up, they have Monday meetings, they don't want to talk to some random goofball.
Same thing with Fridays too for you,
Right.
huh?
My Fridays, the way my schedule works personally, the way I set it up, or my Fridays are slow too.
That's nice. See?
It's for new outreaching purposes.
Anything to really stretch that weekend out a little bit.
Yeah, that and if Friday seems to be a good day to do extra research. Sometimes people are in good mood, so you can catch them off guard with a call.
That's nice.
Like one.
That's a good call, actually. I didn't even actually think about that. But yeah, spirits are always high.
Yeah,
on
so
Fridays.
I usually kind of try to do some new prospecting on Friday.
There you go. Nice.
But hey, real quick, congratulations to the two of us, 20th episode.
Look at that, baby.
Right.
Who knew? Who knew we were going to get there except for actually us?
Us.
This is just the 20th episode we've recorded. We, off air could
I've
have a
done-
good 45, 50, 60 episodes at this point.
Easily. Especially when I lived across the street from you.
Dude, that was easy pickings. Not even a 2-minute drive.
Not even.
It was like across the block.
It was all time. I loved it so much. It's just our apartment was awful.
Yeah, that was a rough situation. But you had to get out of the the parents-in-law. Is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
the my in-laws.
There you go.
Your in-laws, my in-laws.
No, Jesus, dude. I
gotta
gotta
work on the lingo.
yeah, I really do. I gotta pick up on that.
The marriage
But it was
lingo.
time. It was time to kind of get out of there. Wedding was over, all that kind of stuff. That transition over from that crazy little like Laguna place. You had to get the hell out of there with all like the slab leaks and bullshit that was going on there. So
It feels like every apartment we get is great at first and then goes sour real quick.
it's just, I feel like it's one of those things you see it at face value and things are usually better than they seem initially. And then you kind of start seeing some of the red flags that pop up.
Right. I usually try to do heavy research, but both of these apartments we got were like had to be pretty fast. So I didn't get to like fully vet out where we wanted to go.
It's that. And also it was like, I think all the shiny things kind of like, dissipate quickly.
There wasn't
like,
much shiny stuff in either of my apartments.
You know what, though? I will have to say it's the location of the last place. You're right next to the 55, right next to the 405. You're right next to South Coast.
That's why
you're
we got it.
You're right
next
there
to
in
you.
Costa Mesa. Next to a couple buddies. Those are like pretty big.
Right.
And then some of the inconveniences started showing up. Like you had like cockroaches in there like on day 2?
Day 1.
You're like, oh my God.
Day 1.
No big deal. Not a big deal for you, but for the missus,
big deal. I forgot about that.
yeah, that was not fun.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We had to like come get it sprayed immediately.
Move everything that you like previously had moved in, move back out.
We didn't really unload, thank God. So they came.
Well, there was another instance you had to like spray everything, right? And like cover everything up, move everything.
we had to like.
Or was
the
it
guy
just-
came in and just sprayed around it, but we weren't unpacked even at that point. And we, for whatever reason, Madison and I got there and we basically didn't really unpack.
I know. It was one of those places where it was just like, what's the point?
Right.
We don't need to really try to make this feel like home too much because we're not going to be here for very long. And you weren't. So it's fine. It was just a quick, what was it, like a year? Not even, right?
Not even.
It was like 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah. It was a great 8 months, though.
8 months. Tried to break our lease, and that didn't go well. You just had to pay the fee or whatever it was to a cap, which I think is ridiculous. I think it should be like $600 and the 1 month notice that you get, like maybe a month of rent. Yeah, how long are these apartments not being rented out for?
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. We were over in Long Beach trying to get out of our place because we were just so over it. I was done with coaching at the time, and I believe that was around like that July. Our actual contracted rent was going through like August or like September.
Right.
And so whatever, it'd have to be like another 2 months, right? And we're like, okay. Like this would be the only spot that would be open in this entire complex in Long Beach. Like there's going to be no issue filling this place.
Right.
And they were threatening to be like, well, if no one moves in, then you're going to have to cover the months of August and September. We're like, what? Like, no way. Let's just like pay. If we have to do anything, which should be nothing.
Right.
You shouldn't have to pay that damn fee in the first place.
I know. We're saying this now, but like when I own property, I'm going to want people to pay me up.
Of course, because it's a contract. You signed up, but at the same time, it's like, things pop up.
Right. And if I've had a history of paying, and like I'm in good standing, who we are, like...
Right. No, like, crazy stuff going on. No crazy broken things, no, like, noise complaints.
Right.
For the most part. Yeah, you're paying on time. Like, what's the big deal?
Right.
And if also you give a heads up of, like, 45 days, 60 days, if you, like, do a 60-day, 2 months, like, you're telling me you can't have someone lined up, like, the following week after we move out?
Someone was jumping on this. This is California real estate out here. Someone's moving.
It's also
quick.
like the place that we lived in. It wasn't like high-end luxury living, like where the rent was like $4,000. You're like, okay, I get it.
Right,
I get it. Like maybe some people aren't going to jump, are going to be jumping all over this, but for the most part, I feel like it shouldn't be that difficult.
It's
I don't
like
know.
college apartments. Someone like college students, 100% going to move in there instantly and be jazzed. It was a great little like half studio place.
It was cool. It was great for the time being.
Right.
Man, was it cozy during COVID.
I bet. I bet it was feeling real on top of you during COVID.
That was rough, honestly. For the psyche alone, I had like a little like putz around corner, basically. The bed was in the living room type situation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we
literally wake up, walk 8 steps to the living room. Okay, this is our little spot here.
Right. That's tough.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that my Laguna Hills place was a bit bigger.
That was nice because you had a den. If you didn't, that den was awesome.
The den was great.
Having a den for that little extra space, I think, is everything too. Because you can have a little office space or gaming, something like that. You can like be playing games later at night while the wife's in the other room going to sleep. Like, I didn't really have that option.
Right. I was like gaming. We had the living room, which was a good sized living room.
Decent kitchen, and you even have like a little like dining room area.
Yeah. It was a cool place, and then it all fell apart, which is classic. But what also kind of fell off the rails for us this weekend, buddy?
Yeah.
We got to get into it, and I don't want to.
I feel like the mojo and the vibe that's been happening here over the last like few golf weekends has not been a stellar one. It's been a little bit in the weeds.
Yeah.
It's a little bit in the cabbage here, you know?
So just to recap, Andrew and myself did our annual, this is why it's so sad, 2-man scramble. We usually only get to do like some competitive playing with each other, maybe on the same team, once or twice a year. Now it's going to be a bit more because we'll be more enjoyable because we'll have 4-man teams.
Yeah.
And that's big for us. Because Chris and Cam, who now joined the men's league, are playing with us, and it was a great time.
Yeah, it was a blast. Love playing with them.
It was so much fun to actually be with some guys our own age who wanted it, who cared a bit.
Oh yeah, they were locked in. As were we. Honestly, I kind of felt like I was in my own world with you at some points for a good chunk of it. Honestly,
we were just playing our game. They played their game. It was great. But
I don't think it was a tough score and like result for what we were actually putting out there. I felt like we were hitting good shots.
It felt like I
didn't want you to like lowball us right now because
I appreciate that.
We played well because I felt like you were about to go off the edge and I had to like reel you back in.
Yeah.
I threw the rope after you.
I was about to jump. No, so I would say agreed. After we got into our post-round talk in the car, you brought me back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah, because we shot level par, and it's not a bad day.
No, but like...
By any means. I know the goal. I know the sights were set at 3, 4, 5 under.
Yeah.
You said 5 last week, and I was like, that's ambitious, but I love it.
Yeah, I just felt after we played our round that we were in a place to actually do this at a course we play well on. Both of us have done well on.
Yep.
We know the course. We don't have like last year when we did this, like I couldn't chip. You couldn't really chip. Like the drives on my end were working. Yours came in late. Like
the putting was like a little shaky at times.
Right, but we just somehow like fought and like
you know what it was? It was like that 3-hole stretch where we had like that 7-foot eagle putt. Right. And then like we unfortunately missed that. That was a bummer. And then we like birdied the next or something along those lines where we went like 3 or 2 under through like 4 holes. Like, oh wow, we're gonna actually tap into something that saved us because I thought we were 2 over at one point, I believe.
Yeah, our last year round.
Yeah. Last year. And so we finished even par last year, and I felt like we were in the makings for something better this year, and I think we for sure were. We just had a couple of unfortunate breaks, I feel like.
Yeah,
and
it was
finished at level.
I'm happy to say that we are moving past our teammate issues.
I didn't feel that once. And so I know we spent a lot of time, just a quick recap of like trying to game plan of like what we need to do. You know, we got a practice round in on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Beforehand, like kind of just playing a little bit as well. And so the team aspect between the two of us, I felt like it was strong.
Much better.
Yeah, I didn't feel any worries. It was more of like we just needed to get that, conversation out of the way, address the elephant in the room.
Right.
And let's move past that thing.
I feel like this is going to be an ongoing work for us as we got to work up all the past baggage of
it's a relationship, baby. It's a relationship.
So
we got to tender this
thing. Got to
thing.
put the work in to keep it, especially for Papa, because Papa mine starts to wander. And you got to help me wrangle it back in. It's truly like a dog off a leash. And it's like I'm calling it. I'm like, come on, come here, over here. And it's just like staring at a piece of food. Like I don't know, like
squirrels running by. Right.
Like I can't catch a break with this thing every once in a while. And I get embarrassed. I'm like, come on, people are watching. Come here.
Focus it back in. Okay, yeah. Lock it in.
But I didn't feel that. I mean, I felt it at times just being hard on myself because I want to be better than I am, at golf. And there's shots that I'm just going to hit that like, a 13 and a 14 does. Like I'm going to duff a chip every once in a while, especially like when I'm cold. Like I have no feel for my chip game right now, which I don't know really where that went because last year my wedges were dialed to the point where I didn't even have to chip.
Yeah.
And this year I'm hitting the ball a little farther and like irons are going a little farther. So I'm kind of like testing greens more, which is better for scoring, but I'm starting to miss like a little shorter where I need to start using wedges. And so anyways, we shot even par.
Yeah, it was solid.
I thought teamwork overall better, but we played even on the front, 2 bogeys, 2 birdies.
I think it was just 1 and 1.
One bogey, 1 birdie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Came out number 1. We fought that par off.
That's a hole that we always struggle on. Struggle on. And you went up there, hit a great tee shot, great second, 2 putt, got out of there, easy par.
Right.
And then 2 is when it really starts unraveling a little bit. We both got up to the tee.
2's tough.
It's a very tough hole. It's like 430, par 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's not narrow, but if you miss the fairway, you're going to have tree trouble. So we unfortunately both missed the fairway.
Right.
and like totally blocked out. Like we got both got bad breaks, which is unfortunate. You know,
so I had to like do like a weird chip punch run, which didn't work out too great.
Yeah, I had to play like I had to play a stinger hook.
Right.
You had to hit a stinger cut.
Right.
Like out of the rough. Like it's just like that's just not ideal. You hit a pretty good one though, actually, like to fairly green side, short sided, and we just didn't get up and down.
Right. And then, you know, our normal game, I just felt like we weren't, like we said, sharp.
Yeah.
And we said we hit 15.
I mean, overall, we hit
greens,
15 out of 18 greens in reg.
which is great.
I think that's fantastic. And the only time that we actually made bogeys when we didn't hit a green in reg.
Right.
Those were our 3 bogeys because we
had missed 2.
Yeah, because we had 3 birds as well. Yeah,
it just wasn't sharp. It just felt like when we had those opportunities from a big, because your drive game was unreal, really shining. There was a stretch of on hole 10 and 11, 9 even, you played some good shots for us, and 12 you had another good shot.
Mm-hmm.
You were on fire.
It was one of the I actually wanted to speak on this a little bit. That was like one of the first times I've been in like a flow state of golf.
Really?
Yeah, I reached that point. It was almost surreal. I'm like, I can't believe this is actually happening. I realized that. Because like you would hit a drive and it would be okay. And I'm like, buddy, I got us.
Right.
Confident. Okay, now I'm 75. And there was a shot on number 12. And I don't know if you remember this one.
Let's hang on real quick. So we have to take 8 drives apiece, correct?
We do. That we do.
So
that's a good way to set the table, actually. You know, for the format.
We have to be strategic with my drives. Very, very strategic. Because one, I don't hit the ball super far. So short par 4s, if you hit a missile on, we're like
30, 40 yards away.
40 up to like 75.
Mm-hmm.
Mine were like hit a good one, 110, maybe a hundy. But bad ones were like okay ones are like 140,
right?
150, 160. That's
where like my okay ones are like, you know, around that like 90, 100
right
mark. And so it's I feel like it's a big little difference there.
A big difference. It's a huge. So you have to kind of like almost outweigh like the advantage of you wanting to score. So it's an actual like chess match with us. And I felt like we played it as well as we could have because of the situation, but just kind of bit us in the ass a little bit at the end.
A little bit at the end. But it really wasn't troubling, I don't think, because I ended up hitting a horrific tee shot on 17. We needed to take yours anyway.
Right.
And I hit a great tee shot, but got an unlucky bounce on 18.
Someone swooped it.
You know,
on 17.
Someone swooped my ball on 17. And then 18, I hit it in the fairway bunker. And so we had to take yours anyway. So we got to, was it 10 and 6 on hole 16? And we had to take your 2 final drives or something like that?
Yeah. So on hole 10, we'll go back to the flow state here. I hit an okay one. We go right. We end up taking mine.
Yeah.
And which was a shot, thank God, that, you know, you kind of played mind tricks with me, which was great. We almost was
on that 3-wood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost going to have to be my shot, and I hit a butte.
We're blocked out from the trees on the right side,
right.
And we decided to go with your tee shot because I was also blocked out with the trees on the left. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, this is for sure the drive we're taking, Tom. Yeah, I love this one way more than mine. This is a clear choice. And this is the shot I do not want. This is the high cut. And I got to play like a hybrid out of there for a high cut. For me, that is next to impossible.
Right.
Don't know how to do that. And so and you're like, oh, I'm going to take 3-wood then. I love this so much. And I'm like, okay, I don't love that because I'm not loving this. Like this could go south real quick.
Well, I felt the reason why I liked it was 1, because it was my shot shape, and 2,
you had a good lie.
We had a good lie. And also distance-wise, you're not losing your ball anywhere. So that's like pushing it farther right, no big deal. And maybe it's seeing like a straight pool draw on the other side of the tree line, not a huge deal either.
It's just a great thing too, because I totally played a little mind game with you.
Right.
I was like, I just hate this, but I'm pumping and gassing Tom up as much as I possibly can to swing totally free. because I get up there right after you hit a beautiful 3-wood, cracked it, whatever, 240 high cut around this tree, right? 250.
Right in the middle of the fairway.
It was beautiful. And I go up there with my hybrid and just whack it straight into the right.
And you're like, I'm going to be honest with you here. I hated every part of that.
I'm like, I shouldn't need to hit right now.
Right. And it was great. And you came out, you dialed up a wedge, made a birdie putt onto the next. You step up, you hit one of the longest drives
11.
I've ever seen. It was a perfect ball flight, came out like a cannon, stayed below the tree line, maybe crest it. Perfect little tight draw over the bunker. We're out.
330 with that drive, probably.
Right. Or 40, 50 yards.
Yeah.
And I hit both those drives. On 11 wasn't a bad drive.
No, it was a good drive.
It was
for
right
you.
down the middle, but also maybe like 100 yards back.
You had, I remember looking at it or like, trying to factor it all in. We had 70, 76, I believe, with mine.
Mm-hmm.
And we had like, I don't remember the exact yards, but like 135, 140 or something like that with yours.
Mm-hmm. End to end, pin at the back.
Way back. Yeah.
And it's dead long actually here because you missed back and left.
Right.
Balls OB.
And I don't know, I think I found something in that driver swing, and then I was like, no, Tom, we need it. It was not, this is like not even a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I kind of realized I was like, I'm feeling good about my game.
Yeah.
Because normally we could take that drive and like we could put it to 25, 30 feet in the middle of the green, probably, because we both have wedge in our hand from your distance. And I was like, no, we need to take this one.
Yeah, and when you make those decisions to go with distance and maybe scoring a bit better, rather than like my middle shot to middle green to a par, is you have to try to make birdie now.
Exactly.
Because now we're taking 2 L's. We didn't score and we didn't take my drive.
Because we were a little bit heavily favored in, like, we were kind of even at the time, but we knew we wanted to take a couple of my drives in the next few holes here.
We need you on the back to carry some distance for us, which you did. And it ended up, to be honest, like the whole driving number thing, I wasn't even really that worried about it.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to play well, but at the same time I thought about it, I'm like, well, as long as he can cover the water hole, which he will, I can't take that one. It's just so bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit like I did last time. I'm gonna hit like I said to you. I'm just gonna hit a fade off that tree line, not hit a draw.
That's the tough number 14.
I'm just gonna go right off the tree line on the left, and I'm gonna hit a fade.
Yeah,
and if I hit it straight into the trees, fine.
Yeah, even if you hook it, you block it like way over there. You pull it. I'm getting all my words all jumbled up here. If you pull it directly into that tree line, that's A-okay. But you just can't go over that water like you kind of ended up doing. But, yeah, dude, I don't know. I kind of like tapped into that shot, went real aggressive with it, fired a wedge to like 7 feet,
Yeah, balling.
On number 11. And I was like, no, we need to take this. You drain it. I drain it right after you just for reps. Mm-hmm. Boys were buzzing because now we're 1 under through 11.
2 under.
We didn't birdie number 10. We had to look for par.
Oh, that's right.
We get up to number 12, and I love this hole because it just kind of is a very mellow dog-legged left. OB right, but no big deal because it's way over there.
You love this hole. This is like your hole.
I play this one great, and then I bombed another drive like, dude, I don't know, 320 down there.
Perfect.
Right in the middle of the fairway. You hit a good one, too, actually. It was just a little bit short-sided. We'd have to hit over the bunker on the left. But you got a hold of yours, but I was like, no, we got to take this one over here. It was like, this one was like 72 yards. Mm-hmm. You had to like, I don't know, barely pass the right edge of that left bunker. So I opened up my lob wedge to like a 64 degree, played like a 3/4 shot. And I'm like, no, I got us here. I felt real saucy after I did that, put it to like 12, 14 feet, something like that. You barely squeaked yours by. And then I hearted mine right after.
Oh.
And it was like, whoa, okay.
The boys are buzzing.
Really hot. Really coming on to something.
Really buzzing.
Really coming on to something. And then that next par 3, we hit, you hit like an okay tee shot where it was just like high right a little bit, but it was in between the 2 bunkers on that par 3. And then I hit like a little knockdown 9 to like 20 feet. I'm like, this is great.
Maybe if we think about it back then, like the odds of us missing that putt are pretty high, like that was a pretty long putt, but we were just in this flow state of trying to get lower.
Yeah.
Maybe hindsight, we probably should have taken my tee shot there because we probably could have chipped it to like 5 or 6 feet. Maybe
on
the par
13?
On the par 3.
Yeah, I know, because it wasn't like a bad situation at all. It was like, you had 30 feet of green to work with. It was like a 15-yard chip. It's like very straightforward. So,
anyway, we probably been putting it back uphill on it. But anyways, the wheels start falling off the bus a little bit. Around hole 15, we're starting to fall off the
it's
trail.
Just like, it's just the golf situation where like it's just hard to maintain any sort of excellence out there if you're not a scratch golfer. It's difficult.
I couldn't find my swing, so I kind of left you on an island there for a little too long, I would say. Which is fine. That's going to happen to me every once in a while. Unfortunately, it happened at the wrong time.
Because I didn't quite have it either. I kind of lost that flow state. It only lasted for a good 3-4 holes there. But
what do you think snapped you out of it? Was it the realization you were in it?
No. Okay, no, it just kind of fell off. I kind of just lost the feel. I don't know what it was. I don't even know how I tapped into it. It just something clicked and it just tapped in, and then I kind of just got out of it.
Yeah, that happens. I was wondering if you caught maybe why. But yeah, we went bogey, and then what was the real heartbreaker? So now we're back to even.
Right.
We're playing a par 5 on hole 18. And we try to get ourselves back into this hole one more time. We say, okay, buddy, 1 under would be great. Be 1 better than we did last year. Go home with our heads held high with another birdie. I hit a good drive.
You hit a great one. And then I went up there, ripped the drive, and I unfortunately did not clear. I don't know what the carry is, but it's far. You got to go left of the bunker. I was really hoping I would clear it, though. Straight in that fairway bunker. It looked like you might have cleared it. It was 6 yards legitimately any direction from where you were at. Would have been perfect.
Would have been perfect. Left, straight, or to the right. It's just that there was a perfect bunker. Took mine. I topped a 3-wood. You roasted a hybrid. Yeah, that was a good struck hybrid right there. So put us pin high above the bunker on the right. Yeah. It was like a 255 3 hybrid for you. I got a hold of it. It hit it really well. And my hands came alive for a sec. That was the most beautiful chip I've ever seen you hit in a long while, dude. Yeah, that was real saucy. Double bounced on the fairway, rolled it up to 4 feet. Yeah, 4 feet. 4 feet for birdie. We're buzzing a bit. I think at this point it's in the hole. We're done. In. Tap into birdie. Let's get out of here. Enjoy our 1 under. Right. And then chaos just rained upon us. A bug lands on my ball in the middle of me about to strike the ball. Like I'm pulling it back and it's coming forward, and there's a bug lands on my ball. It threw me off. Like it just yanked my concentration on the putt away just long enough for me to just miss my line. Yep, for sure. And then I'm like, okay, no big deal. Yeah. Unlucky break. You still got your boy over here that's backing you up. Right. And I thought 4-footer, no big deal. It's like straight up the hill. Right. It's a really great spot. And I yanked it. So it was pretty embarrassing. I didn't want to put that pressure on you. I like to at least roll a good one on the line we discussed. Yeah. So you can really get a feel, but I pulled it completely off the line and the pace was fine. Right, but I just didn't see the line. I was like, I'm like, is this moving? I don't know. Right. We think it's kind of straight, but it ends up wiggling on us a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. And then I go, okay, no big deal. Made 1,000 of these 4-foot putts. I just wish I stopped my swing because I went and took the putter away and it got stuck into the turf. And I've never had that happen with this putter. It shocked me. I don't ever really do that. And it just, for some reason, got stuck in the turf. And I should have just put the brakes on and called it quits on that stroke and reset. So I missed that putt too, and it just threw me off. It rattled me a little bit, and just 4 feet is enough. If you have any lapse of concentration, you can miss it pretty easily. And we both whiffed it, and that put us in a bad mood. In a big funk for sure. A bad mood, but anyway, it was still a great day. Really enjoyed it. I'm so excited to do these 4-man tournaments with Chris and Cam now, and it's good fun. It was great fun. And then to round out that night, we ended up going to Chris's engagement party with Courtney. Our boys getting married, so congrats to them too. Yeah, I think they locked down a date actually, July. Hey, yo.
Dropping the mic there. Little fumble rooski. July 2024. Yeah.
Wow. That means the bachelor party we have planned, which I can't wait to do.
It's like one of the best feelings, you know? It's a lot of work, but it's really not.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to be on the other end of a wedding now, which I'm not going to have to make a speech. And I'm not the best man at, which is great, which means I can just be...
The best role in a wedding is being that, like, you know, 5th, 6th bachelor, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, that's like, or whatever, 3 through 7, whatever you are, just not giving a best man speech, but you can still be really heavily involved, you know?
Right.
You don't have any responsibilities. You're kind of just maximizing your fun at that point.
I know, but I know Chris kind of wants me to step in and be daddy with it a little bit, which is more than happy to do.
But you love doing that, though.
Right.
You love the planning. You love, like, you want to know what's going on. Like, that's the fun part. It's just without the speech.
The speech is tough. The public speech is tough.
Which you should be great at. It always kind of shocks me a little bit. You got to just release some of those little inner thoughts and just let it go.
Yeah, I don't mind. I wish I would have memorized yours a bit more, but I think I was just so paralyzed in the idea of doing it.
Right. And you're like, okay, now I'm just glued to this card now.
Right. Now I was starting to blow it. I had practiced, you know, in the mirror before your wedding, trying to memorize it. Dude, nothing. I threw an absolute donut at it. And I was like, oh, thank God I tried to do that.
Well, because I feel like half of it too is intimidating as well. And it's also, I would say it's more nerve-wracking to give a speech in front of people that you are actually close with and know.
Yeah. I'm not great at public speaking. It's reading out loud, the same vibe for me.
Yeah.
I can do
Doesn't bode well with you.
I can do it like off the cuff, if I like fun or whatever, but like it needs to have some structure and make some sense.
Mm-hmm.
I can go up there and like tell a couple of stories and move on. That's no big deal. But like having structure to it to move it along. But anyway, it was a great party. It was super fun. You know, the wedding planning's ahead, which is so fun. The wedding planning is so great. Enjoy every minute of that.
Really relish that because it's going to be the longest but shortest year.
Yeah, it's the longest, shortest year of your life. Yeah. By month like 5 or 6, you're like, is this ever going to end?
Yeah, I wish them well.
And then by month 9 or 10, you're like, there can't be much more planning. And you're on the month and you're like, okay, for sure we're done talking about it.
Right.
No.
It was kind of funny. I was talking to Chris at the engagement party. Shout out, it was just a beautiful time.
Yeah,
it was
so
really
great.
cool. Great people, some solid food. Heck and Camps put on a really nice welcoming event.
Yeah, super fun.
But before I kind of dive into that, I just needed to, give a little quick shout out because then I caught Chris, like he was kind of off to the side. And you could tell it was like wearing on him already. It's like, oh my God. He's just eating his food by himself, like on the side of the bar. And I went over to him. I was like, hey, what's going on?
Love that.
How's it going over here, bud? He's like, this is kind of a lot.
Yeah, dude.
And I hope he doesn't mind us saying that. But, it is. Because everyone's there for you.
He doesn't mean like it's a lot in the idea of marriage is a lot. He means it's a lot in the idea of, wow, everyone's talking to us. Everyone's like asking how we're doing. You're not used to professing your love like I was. I'm not a huge PDA person.
Of course.
And so people kind of ham that up like, oh, look at the happy, lovely couple. Give us a kiss. Hold your hands. Where's your wife?
Right. You're like, haha, high five.
Right. So we don't. So yeah, a lot meaning like, wow, this is going to be like a thing.
Yeah.
And it does happen.
I just caught him taking a quick second. I was like, I got to go over there and just kind of level with him real quick. So
right.
It's not a bad thing at all. It's just more of like, you just need like a quick 15 minutes. Like, I just want to eat a little bit of food, hang out, because I'm just getting berated by the grandparents, the aunts, the family, the friends. Like, we're doing shots, we're blah, blah, blah. Let's meet so-and-so. And like, dude, you're just getting dragged in all different directions. So I just caught him in that quick 10-minute, Chris time right there. So that was kind of funny and fun. But he's like, yeah, no, I totally understand why this is a lot. So
yeah, no one really gets it until you do it.
We've been trying to tell you guys.
Right. It's gonna wear on both of you, and it's just such a strange phenomenon you do once in your life. So the advice that everyone tells you is just enjoy it, live in the moment. It's basically impossible to do that.
It is. It's really difficult. But at the same time, though, again, you're like, I wouldn't be going through this if I didn't love this person that much, like this much. Like, you got to focus on that part. And yeah, it's a lot, but at least you're doing it with someone it's not like there's going to be bigger obstacles ahead. There's for sure going to be bigger obstacles obstacles.
This is
ahead.
just step one of figuring out how you guys get through it.
Exactly. So it's enjoying that ride, and celebrating the two of you. So that's what we said, and we'll say it again. So,
and we also kind of caught this weekend more golf for you people as the U.S. Open at the Los Angeles Country Club. It was unreal. Heard some rumors the atmosphere wasn't too great this year.
It was confirmed. I will confirm that for you. And I think a lot of players were actually saying that as well. And did you see some of the numbers on why the atmosphere wasn't that great?
I saw a tweet from Matt Fitzpatrick basically saying the atmosphere wasn't great. And then someone on Foreplay, Danny Rappaport, reported on that the reason why was because country club members were buying up tickets for corporate events, for holding seats that people ended up not using or showing up to for business purposes. Sunday, the crowd was good, though.
It was bumping, but yes, that was exactly it. I saw something where, it was 24,000 people were, in attendance, like that could have bought tickets. Which is low, honestly. I don't know why it was that exclusive.
I think it's just hard to get to. Parking sucks. It's just the golf course is beautiful for the U.S.
Unbelievable.
Open.
Unbelievable.
Perfect filming and viewing purposes. I just don't know how great it is for the people and hosting of it,
right?
Which really matters a lot.
And so I think it was 14,000 of those tickets. Mm-hmm. Or 15,000 of those tickets were actually, bought up for the box seating. They had that many seats available for that box special treatment. What blah blah blah. Right. And the reason why it didn't get that rowdy and it wasn't like that major championship feel is because there was much less just general admission tickets to be sold.
And they were expensive.
Oh my God, they were expensive.
It's like $600 for a ticket.
Yeah. Well, I never saw it at $600, but probably closer to the event because I looked a couple months before and it was still $450, and I said, no, thank you. I can't do that.
Yeah, I saw $600 for Sunday, which is when the day we would have gone.
Jeez.
But shout out to Wyndham Clark. Cool story. I wasn't rooting for him, but I'm happy he won at the end of it. Yep. He deserved it.
I think a lot of golf buddies fans of the game that follow, I'm pretty sure I would say about 95% of the population was rooting for Ricky Fowler at the start of the day.
I mean, I was 100% Ricky guy all in.
Right.
And as soon as he went bogey and Wyndham kind of
created some separation, I was okay, it's now my attention's on Rory.
Right. Rory, here we go.
Yeah.
And Rory couldn't get it done. Did a hell of a tried.
He played great.
Yeah. Just couldn't squeak it out. Wyndham really grabbed a golf round when it started to fall apart and forced it home, which was cool to see.
It was really cool.
To see him I'm like, oh, there's no way. Hits two long irons and mid irons off into the thick stuff, into the cabbage, off the green. And I thought on 18 he's gonna yank it again and put it into the thick stuff.
I know.
And dials up one perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I thought was really interesting, which I want to get your take in, is on 18 for the putt for birdie, 2-putt to win. Fans rush 18 when he's already on the putting green. Now,
wait. The fans came onto the green?
Onto before the fairway and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
When he was on the green.
Okay.
Well, so
I thought they stopped him, though.
They did, but they were... Normally, when crowds rush, they follow through on 18.
Okay.
So the crowd follows him in.
Right.
And so when by the time he's ready to putt, everyone's already filtered in.
Okay.
This was different. He got onto the putting green of 18, and then the fans all started to rush. So he had to wait and sit over the putt longer.
Oh, I didn't recognize that.
Right. So instead of, he couldn't putt because all the people were running up.
Okay.
And technically he was away.
Gotcha.
So they actually had to wait, and Rory kind of hit or was about to, and then fans like all rushed.
I got to watch another clip of it because I must have I don't know. I must have been off or didn't really pay attention. There was a little bit of downtime or something. It didn't grab my attention like it did for you. So I can't recall what I'm not remembering right now. But
because I remember on
18s,
like when Phil was in the PGA Championship, when he was playing at whatever golf course, they rushed down 18 with him.
Right.
Tiger Woods, they'd always be behind him on 18.
Right. Yep.
This was different. Like I said, he was setting up the putt, and the announcer said something. I was thinking the same thing, which was like, well, he's really gonna have to sit over this for a while now, which is a lot.
And it's not like he's putting from 20 feet.
No,
he's putting from 60 feet on 18. He's got a 2-putt.
He has to 2-putt.
Right.
3-putt to push OT, which
you never want to have that in a playoff. Never, because it can go either way. You hit one bad shot at a U.S. Open, you're going to get punished.
Yeah, so he ends up having to wait longer. And I thought to myself, there's no chance in a million years I would hit a good putt after that. The chance of me hitting a good putt regularly in perfect circumstances was a long ask.
Yeah.
The fact that now I have to wait over this putt, and people are rushing, and police officers are stepping in and kind of trying to stop it. And they're not really stopping it. They're trying their best. They end up holding it off. But you have to wait for everyone to stop moving and the cheering to stop.
It's a big rustling going on.
Big rustling.
It's just kind of funny, dude. It's a perfect thing to talk about because it's not maybe. Just we don't have the mental fortitude for this because I got thrown off from a 4-foot putt because my putter got a little snagged on the grass.
Right.
At a 2-man scramble tournament when playing as a team, and then a fly lands on the golf ball for you, and you
and I yank it.
Missed the 4-foot
I just don't
putt.
have that. Like, I'd be so worried about I wonder if my wife is over here. I wonder are the cops going to stop him? Are they going to rush this green?
You also don't think you're going to be worried about that paycheck?
Right. Like this, I just need to 3-putt this home no matter what because the check will be fat. Either way, I'm getting paid. Like my focus isn't anywhere but the putt. And it just shows that professionals are just a different mental area in the game of golf. It's really truly the factor, I think, in golf that separates most golfers from the goods to the greats, from the bads to the goods. Like the mental game is pretty, you gotta keep learning this game in different ways and stepping up your mental game to get to that next level. It always is a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, entirely.
Learning how to play, learning how to score, getting into big moments, then failing in those moments, and then trying again. And maybe next year when we have a big 4-foot putt, it'll be easier because how bad could it be? We've already done it.
Sure.
But yeah, so I thought it was a great tournament overall. I'm excited for the next U.S. Open to be at Pinehurst.
Really cool.
Which will be fun.
Really, really cool. I love that venue. I want to talk about the golf course really quickly before we move on here. Because I heard some mixed reviews from some players and also some fans, and I just want to hear what your thoughts were on the course. Did you think it was U.S. Open material? Did you like how wide, how the fairways were, how it was set up, the landscape?
It was, okay, so on Twitter and Instagram, the way the course was looking was going to look damn near impossible.
Yeah.
And even the distance, because we watched the Golf Digest break down the golf course beforehand, and it looked impossible. And sure enough, the pros come into this. I thought, no way. The winning score is going to be maybe 4 under, 5 under.
That's what we said. That's what we predicted.
And I thought, no way, anyone's getting any like high, like, you know, lower than that. And sure enough, Ricky comes out and puts like an all-time.
Yeah, he goes 8 under on the first round with Xander. Shoots a 62.
Unreal.
Lowest ever score ever registered or carded at a U.S. Open for any round, just in history.
It's
both of them did on the same day.
Crazy. It, to me, also the conditions of the weather were weird. Thursday and Friday was very June gloom up here.
The course also got a little bit of rain, actually, too.
Right, so it slowed down the greens, which I think was their biggest defense.
Mm-hmm.
The greens were going to be a big defense, and the wind, which it wasn't like incredibly windy for California.
Dude, I think it was less than 5 miles an hour on Thursday and Friday.
Right, so it was perfect scoring conditions because then they were just able to like throw the ball in like weird spots and like miss long, and like I feel like if it had a lot of backstops, this golf course, people could kind of like one hop into it, two hop into it, kind of spin off the back of it. Where like maybe if it was firmer and hotter and running really fast, those would have just skipped off into the thick stuff, short siding you and being the protecting of that course. Overall, I mean, like video wise and watching wise, stunning.
It's just really hard to nitpick that course for me.
Right.
Like I thought the bunkers were gorgeous. I just didn't like at some points how wide the fairways were, how easy it was.
You like window on 18. You're like, dude, that's gonna be into the thick stuff, and he's right on the edge in the fairway still.
He looked like he missed like the intended ball flight by like 30 yards, and I'm like, that's for sure in the rough. That's in trouble.
Right.
And he had like still a perfect shot in. It was like a 7 or 8 iron in. On like a 5
dimed it.
Yeah, dimed it. So, but apart from the fairways being a little bit on the wide side, you obviously can't control the weather. So, like the course is going to play more scoreable. If it had the conditions of the weekend at the very beginning, which is I'm sure is what they were trying to go for, they just had that, unexpected rain. The winning score could have been that 3-4 under number we were talking about. I just love watching the U.S. Open, and they got it to that condition, and they got it to that speed, and they got it to that difficulty on Sunday. And I love watching golf like that too, because yes, there are a lot of like backstops and undulations and slopes that you can hit in the green.
Right.
It's just really fun because of how long the course is. You need to like plan your landing spots so meticulously.
So perfectly.
Yeah, and it's really fun to like get locked in, and it's like, the back nine plays so difficult, and I'm forgetting which hole is the par 5. Maybe it's number 12 or something like that. Just for the sake of it, let's go with it. Mm-hmm. And you got like that one par 5 on the back, and then like a short par 3. Like these are kind of like your only 2 birdie holes. Like your like birdie hole chances that are more like, a little bit easier. You could rattle off a birdie on 16, 17, or 18, but it's going to take 2 damn near perfect shots and like a 30-foot putt to drain a birdie.
Yeah, that's what was going on. Rory like burned the edge on a couple of them.
Yeah, and so, it was a bummer because those putts didn't drop. But that to me, I think is really entertaining to watch, and the golf course got there for me, and it was really fun because even though you hit a 320-yard drive, if you hit it on the right side of the fairway, well, you're going to miss that slope, and so you can only hit it to 35 feet.
Right.
But if you drive it down the left, you had a better angle in, you could land it a little softer, you can play that slope. Now you can get it to 10, 12, maybe even like, 6 feet if you get lucky,
Right. I thought it was cool looking and played well.
Yeah. So, good stuff.
It's, also, like you said, everyone was pulling for Ricky. And you brought up a good point to this was, if Ricky doesn't win a major, can you be relevant in this game without winning a major or be considered like a great or stellar? Where does it put you in the class of golfer?
Yeah.
Is it like an NBA where like Charles Barkley will never be remembered as one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game because he never won an NBA championship? Same thing with baseball. Mike Trout might be maybe statistically the best baseball player to ever live at some point.
Potentially, for sure. And especially in the modern era of baseball where pitchers have a lot more rest and the bullpens are a little bit deeper and you don't get to see the same starting pitcher because it's like statistically speaking, the third time you see the pitcher, you're, 10% more likely to get a hit, whatever.
Right.
I think he could be up there for sure, and he might not even win a championship.
I mean, it's like looking like a for sure at this point.
He's doomed. I mean, he's on the Angels.
I mean, it's tragic over there right now. I do think that you can be relevant and respected in this game if you carry yourself correctly and you win some tournaments and everyone knows you're just a really great golfer who maybe was just in some eras of golf that were really tough.
Yeah.
Like Vijay Singh is, I know he's won more and done more things, but maybe never recognized as a golfer that he probably once was.
Hell of a golfer.
Like, maybe one of the best to ever play the game.
Right. And it was just because he was also, he was kind of like a John Daly in certain ways because he hit the ball so far and he was hitting the gym, actually. He was like kind of like him and Tiger kind of changed the game a little bit as far as that. But you just don't hear about it because Tiger Woods was going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's Tiger Woods and Vijay Singh. If it wasn't those two, whatever. Ricky will go down in the history books as like one of the best golfers. But like he'll never get that recognition. Like Wyndham Clark now will always have like something over Ricky.
Yeah, that was also posing the question, like conversely, like if Wyndham Clark never wins another major and maybe wins like, let's call it 2 more PGA Tour events over the next 10 years, is he going to be relevant? Like, are people going to remember? Like, what is like the threshold and what is like that?
Right.
Like,
I think it's consistently good golf. You gotta have some personality about you, a good story, and I think Wyndham Clark has a great story. I think people are gonna like his personality. I think that he's okay, but he'll always have that U.S. Open win. Just because of the golf course and who he was going against and what it meant to him. It'll always have some relevance, but like Ricky will be far more known than Wyndham unless he starts doing what he says he's doing, which is he fired his swing coach and goes out into the range and hits fades. If it's fading too much, then he hits draws. And if he's hooking it, then he hits.
Is that what he does?
Yeah. And he just does it until it's straight.
That's pretty funny.
He's like, I just go out every day and whatever my swing's giving me, I try to straighten it out.
just minimize the curvature.
Yeah, if I'm hitting like a 10-yard fade, I try to make it to like a 3-yard fade. If I'm hitting a 10-yard draw, I'm trying to make it to like a 3-yard draw. And then eventually like your draw will start to compensate and start fading into the ball again. Then you got to go back and forth.
Right.
So he's like, so I could play golf no matter what. If I'm hitting a little tight draw or a tight fade, it doesn't matter to me. I've scored well with both.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that he fired a swing coach, but I think it was also kind of cool. They both went to the same college, and I'm blanking on where that is.
He went to...
Both Ricky and Wyndham Clark went to the same college.
Wyndham Clark started at Oklahoma, then went to Oregon.
Okay. Well, wherever Ricky went, he was like 3 or 4 years older. So Ricky must have gone to Oregon then. Mm-hmm. And, but basically, Ricky was like mentoring Wyndham Clark, and he was talking about Ricky and how, he's always around. He gives back. He, is going back to actually like speak to the student athletes.
Crazy. Make
like a really good impact. And, I don't know if Wyndham Clark must have still been there because he also said that he came back. Yada, yada, yada. And, eventually when he got back onto the tour, Ricky as well, like took him under his wing, always texting him saying like, that was a great golf round. You played really solid, or like, hey, like I didn't really love that decision on number 14. Maybe think about doing this next time.
Crazy.
And it's like, that's like the small things, and it was really cool. And then they were messing around on the putting green. He picks up Ricky's putter. And he's like, wow, I was in like a little bit of a putting slump. And I kind of just like caught a little magic with this thing. Calls up TaylorMade or Odyssey. Oh, Odyssey.
Yeah.
He's like, I want Ricky's putter. You're like, what do you mean? With your stats? Or you're like, no. Just send me Ricky's putter. Same grip, same length, same lie, same loft. Send it on over.
Really?
So they played with the same exact putter this weekend.
I saw that.
And the funny thing is that Ricky made a slight adjustment to his putter and cut off an eighth of an inch. And Wyndham Clark sent the putter back to Odyssey and asked him to cut an eighth of an inch off the shaft. So they're playing the same putter the whole time. So
that's awesome.
I thought that was a fun little story that I heard about as well. So
very cool.
Good buddies. It seemed like Ricky again, like couldn't have been more happy for him as well. You know,
Ricky's such a good guy.
He's one of those guys you want to have on your side, and I think that has that relevancy of like he's going to be well known. Obviously, his personality. You know, the bright orange that he would wear when he was like 21, 22 years old. Is
the orange dead? I don't think he can wear orange on Sunday anymore. I know that's Ricky's color on Sunday, but he's never won the orange.
He's won tournaments, but not
the orange.
Not at. Well, what on the PGA Tour? He's won a few times.
Not on the orange.
Really?
Check it out.
No way.
Look at his tournament wins, but he's not wearing orange.
No way, dude. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, he wins his big tournaments not wearing orange. So I think the orange needs to go. But wear on Saturday.
God, do you have any superstitions? Because that sure sounds like one. Ricky can't wear orange. Wyndham Clark, he marks all of his golf balls.
Oh, I saw that.
Blacks out all the numbers because he's like, if I was playing a 2 and I was playing really well and I somehow lost it or got scuffed up and I moved to a 3, well, that's the reason why I'm not playing good anymore.
Is it not the 2s?
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, not really with my game. I'm not good enough to like blame it on something like that.
Yeah, right.
But I do have a routine in the morning now with golf that I need to hit.
Yeah.
I need to like try to use the restroom like fully.
Yeah.
Then, laying out the outfit the night before.
Yeah.
Advil,
that's always huge.
Advil in the morning, Tums in the morning.
Coffee, maybe a breakfast sandwich.
Something.
Burrito.
I try to drink a full water bottle before I leave in the morning. You
straight turn into a camel in the morning.
Right. I try to load up water beforehand. But yeah. How about you? Any superstitions?
No.
Not really.
No, I don't.
Maybe if you bring your golf shoes to the course, that might be.
Dude, that was another thing too. I was totally fine. I slipped only once.
It was fine.
It was fine. Okay.
I just thought it was funny.
I don't have any superstitions because I'm kind of just so forgetful. Whatever about it.
Right.
Maybe if I started playing more competitively,
Right.
But no superstitions. I just thought maybe it would be a fun question to
pose. It is a fun
question if you'd had something like that.
Yeah. So another thing going on here with the sports world is the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
Wembanyama obviously going number 1 to the Spurs, unless some magic happens where someone offers them the most ungodly package the Spurs couldn't say no to.
Like ownership and absorption of the other franchise, basically.
Right. 15 future first-round picks, like multiple first-rounders that year that they can grab, or whatever. But he's going first overall. Do I think Wembanyama would be that good?
Is he that guy? I guess.
Let me go. I do think he's going to be good. I don't know if he'll be that guy. I think the only person who's ever lived up to the hype in that way has been LeBron James. I'm not even like a LeBron James fan. Like back in the day, I used to be a LeBron James hater.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. My tides have turned a little bit towards
mine
towards
too.
LeBron.
I mean, 1, being a Laker fan, so you get to see the greatness, but 2, also just like you can't deny that man was under the most amount of pressure any athlete has ever been. Like Wembanyama hasn't been in the American media in that way. He hasn't felt that pressure. He doesn't live in America. LeBron James was a poor kid from Ohio.
Yeah.
Who was getting called like the great one, the king, the next up, all of it.
At the age of 17.
Right. Sports Illustrated, going straight from high school into the NBA. Like, Wembanyama might be getting a lot of heat and getting a lot of press, but it's not like living in the United States and dealing with it.
Not yet. Not yet, at least.
No, not yet.
But you know what? Like, maybe who do we know? Because maybe we just don't see it.
That is true.
You know, he's been playing professionally in the top French league for I don't know how many years, but playing professionally for 5 years.
Dominating.
And my guess would be probably 2 or 3 years in that top French league. Mm-hmm. That would be my guess because he's 19 years old right now. So, you know, he's been in that top league for max 3. There's no way he's playing in that top league any younger than that.
It's going to be fun to watch. I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
And saying the things I think might slow him down. Number one being the most obvious is his body going to hold up.
Of course. He's 7'4".
Right.
The dude is massive.
I've seen his athletic drills, his stretching he does, his pregame warm-up. He's definitely trying. He's like walking without shoes on the basketball court and walking on his hands as well, but like using his fingertips and his toes to keep like whatever. Like he's walking forward and backwards on them, like strengthening.
Just activating all like the very small muscles in his body, stabilizers, that kind of stuff.
Right, just getting everything going.
Yeah.
He's like, he has to get there 2 hours early to stretch. Like he really has to give it a go to get that body warmed up for the game he plays. So one, will his body hold up because, you know, he's not going to have a lot of off days, off games, or off days before games.
Mm-hmm.
And two is, has he played against maybe a Jokic who is going to physically dominate him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, has he gone
like
against...
like an Embiid, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, oh, my God. Like, Embiid coming in, like, Embiid's not that much shorter.
He's 7 feet tall.
Right. He's not like he's a short dude. And he's, like, maybe just, like, not just athletic, but he can jump.
Yeah. I would say he's probably just as athletic as
he's
Wembanyama.
up there. He's up there.
Got a good 100 pounds on the dude.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I think it's going to be interesting to see because like we said earlier, like the NBA is changing. It's going to become a big man league, especially with Wembanyama coming into the league. Yeah. The bodies in center C are going to see are some of the most athletic people in the world, and him being one of it. Like it'd be interesting to see if he can hold up to that.
Yeah.
Like because I think Zion could give that dude so many problems.
Yeah, but at the same time though, Zion's 6'8".
You think Wemby's just going to shoot over him?
He's just going to shoot straight over him. It doesn't matter. I mean, he's going to have his, a hand like in his face, but not like, dude, he's shooting way above his head. He's not
but like even just
blocked.
denial of the ball. Like he's just not going to be comfortable into his spots. Like it's going to be tough. But if you're right, he can just turn around and shoot over anyone. He's got the most impossible shot in NBA history.
It's going to be crazy.
So I'm excited to see him play. It'll be fun to watch. Sadder news, Chris Paul is more than likely going to retire. I don't know if it's officially came out yet or not, or what the next step is, but one of the greats is stepping down. Hopefully maybe becoming a Laker at some point.
I'm really bummed about it when I saw that trade, or I was kind of shocked. He was shocked. What makes you say he was going to retire?
There's been reports out that like why would he play for the Washington? He's not going to play for no championship, and he might be able to like basically retire, take off like a couple months, let the season start playing out, and then maybe offer his services to the top teams in the league.
Yeah,
so
that's a good way of doing it, and then play 10,
play his
12,
cards right.
Minutes.
Yeah, just like if Dallas needs an extra body. Or
it's
whatever.
Just one of those. It's another Charles Barkley moment as well. It's just like, dang, dude, like Chris Paul might not ever get a chance, to win a champampionship.
Yeah,
and I was actually
a couple years ago.
They had a chance, and I was rooting for them that year because Lakers were irrelevant, right at that time in 2021. Yeah, weren't even in it. So
I think they were up 3-1 or something, or 3-2 or something, like one closeout game away.
Yeah, you can't quote me on it, but they were good.
And they were right
dominating
there. And it's sad to see. Also, I don't understand how that trade just goes through. The NBA stops this trade for the Lakers years ago, and you might as well like Wizards just gave up everything because they just said, we'll give you Bradley Beal for like a handful of nickels and like some second round picks and like two bodies that like
what was that? What did they get?
Like they got like a handful of second round picks.
That was it.
Chris Paul and some other guy I've never heard of.
Bradley Beal is one of the top shooting guards in the league.
Yeah, there's not many left. True shooting guards. Like Bradley Beal is a true shooting guard.
It's like
a walking bucket.
Who's a dude on the Kings right now? Darren Fox.
Awesome.
Yeah. He's like another great.
He's like a combo 1-2 guard. I would say like Bradley Beal's like a true 2 guard. Like size, build. It makes a lot of sense for him. It'll be interesting to see how he does in this new journey. Chris Paul and the Suns are unstoppable. The Suns just said all in. We're going all in for the next 2 years. We're winning back to back, and if it doesn't happen, then we're just going to be awful as a franchise.
Call me crazy, but I don't think they're going to win.
Do you think DeAndre Ayton, Booker,
Kevin Durant, Cameron Payne, Bradley Beal?
Yeah,
they're not winning.
Really?
I'm gonna make it's a bold take, but I don't
real bold take.
You got Nuggets. You're not getting through the Nuggets, dude. Nuggets are a solid basketball team.
That's a bold take because right now I take the Suns over the Nuggets. Just pure offensive ability. There's just the fire rate.
They just don't have they're a little bit older. Like they can't defend as well.
That is true.
Like you're slower and you might get an injury at some point.
That is true. But if you at all find one of them hot, it's game over.
Well, the Suns were supposed to win this year.
They were supposed to win this year.
That's why the whole reason why they got Kevin Durant over there.
That is true. But Kevin Durant was hurt in the beginning of playoffs.
Yeah. But they got smacked.
They get smacked.
They got smacked.
They did get smacked. I just think
Chris Paul was a little banged up too.
I think if you have Kevin Durant play his normal game.
Yeah.
And then you have Bradley Beal on one side. And you also have
Devin Booker on
one side.
Yeah, it's unstoppable.
And then you have Aiden on the block. It's just like, what are we doing?
We have too many options.
Way too many options.
It's too many mouths to feed. I think that might be a problem. I don't know. Who's your role player? Is Bradley Beal going to come off the bench and be like 6-man, like all-time, like scorer, and like help?
He could.
I don't know. It's just hard to. Hard to see, and I see all these like dynasty teams and like the big three, and like it works out, but then like they have good role players. The Nuggets are literally only have 5 people under contract right now, so I guess we'll have to see what happens here.
Yeah,
because it's an
interesting season.
It was a really early take by me, but
I love it.
I just don't know if it's gonna pan. I hope it does because they are going all in, and they're gonna look like
idiots.
Yes. If it doesn't happen and it doesn't work, it's going to look really bad on the Suns' part.
Yeah.
They got a new coach. They have a new coach this year as well.
Which is crazy.
So
I understand how the NBA just can fire winning coaches.
It blows my mind. Like I know maybe Monty Williams, like he was getting some backlash, but he also won Coach of the Year in 2021. So like, can we?
They made the playoffs.
Can we make up our minds?
Championship, like,
can we make up our minds?
Yeah.
Do we like them? Or like, what are we doing here?
You can't win Coach of the Year and 2 years later be that far off if you've made the playoffs twice.
It was the next year, I thought.
Yeah, like it's just crazy. And someone got fired the same year they won Coach of the Year. The Toronto head coach, I forgot his name.
What?
Got Coach of the Year and let go same year.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Like, what are we doing?
That's crazy, dude.
If you're making it to the playoffs consistently and you're giving runs, the coach should stay.
Yeah. Like, if you like and he gets along well with management and the board and the whatever, like, blah, 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 and the owners, and, like, it's doing everything well, and he's putting in the time and effort, playoffs, like, I feel like what's the problem?
Right.
It's just like, it's like Spoelstra. He's there. He's been there for 15 years. He's had a couple of down years, but he's had some great years over there at Miami.
With like nothing.
Yeah.
Like carrying this team to nothing.
And if he gets fired, then it's like, what is going on?
Right.
But
carried like a broken Jimmy Butler and like a bunch of no draft picks into the playoff and championship.
But Greg Popovich could stay for 38 years.
I thought you should have been done. Now the man can keep coaching happily for the next 10 or 15.
You think it's going to be 10 or 15?
No.
I think it'll be a good 3 or 4.
Get Wembanyama going, maybe get a shot, one more chance, and then get out of there.
Yeah. But I just think it's crazy. we'll see how the Suns.
Pan out?
Yeah, we'll see how they pan out.
Why can't we get the
sign.
Lakers to get somebody? Why would he not want to be a Laker?
Who?
I don't understand. Bradley
Who?
Beal?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. He would be great. He would be unbelievable.
Maybe people just want certain things we can't give up. Also, a little quick weight update for everyone out there.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone the 21 days.
Yeah, dude.
First challenge done.
I don't know if we can give a round of applause, but like maybe we can, let's test out the waters here.
Well, that's gonna be.
We'll see.
We'll see. I don't think that was the way. But yeah, so
you made it 21 days
21
without eating
days.
past 9 o'clock.
Right, which was a habit for me. Like I said, I know it sounds stupid. It's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal, but for me personally, I understood why it was a big deal for me. I ate past 9.
I think also before you move on here,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also a big deal too because there were a couple of times, like it's 21 days in a row. It's not just Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. You know, it's 21 days in a row, and so there's going to be some opportunities and some instances where there was one time, you didn't really eat dinner, and then you also went out, and you were drinking and hanging out, and you were up till like 1 in the morning.
Right.
You only ate like at 3 o'clock, and then now you're a little drunk, and now you got to go to bed, and like I'm just gonna have water right now. Like that's an easy time to slip up, and you stayed strong.
I
through
did
that. You did that twice. I think
that was I did it twice.
There was another time where you
dinner.
told me, you literally didn't have time to eat dinner, or something happened or popped up, and it was like, oh, it's 8:50. Well, it's too late. I can't try to figure something out.
Just eat real quick, shove something in my mouth. And
but but you didn't at that time. Though, you told me, so you're like,
I didn't. So I didn't eat past 9. 21 days got up. I think I did 23. Yeah. Almost. I went a couple extra days.
Yeah.
Last night was Sunday. I was like, Sunday fun day. I'm gonna eat past 9. And buddy, I woke up this morning feeling awful, lethargic, tired,
just in a funk,
weird dreams, stomach pain, like just not in a place. And also when I was doing it, the joy of it for me at that point was gone. Just knowing like I'm gonna feel awful tomorrow.
Well, that's cool, bud, because you said it was a habit, but your body is clearly happier with it when you're not not eating past 9 o'clock, and that was a kind of a clear indicator that I'm doing something right here.
Right, and I think I'm just gonna stick with it for the most part. Like, unless I haven't eaten dinner, then okay. Maybe like on the weekend if I want like ice cream, like not having a meal or something every once in a while, no big deal. Not making toast at like 2 a.m. with butter and whatever else I'm throwing on it. But yeah, so 21 days of yoga now. Not every day, but 2 days a week yoga or some form of stretching to now start getting some balance back in my body. I'm finding my lower back hurt after golf. My shoulder was hurting a little bit.
Really? Like your back hurting? That's a little strange.
My aches and pains were...
Maybe because we're just talking about it, now your body is like, oh, maybe I should be starting to hurt
you
a
and
little
Madison
bit.
both are rubbing off on me. So I'm going to figure out how maybe the recovery from golf might be better. Also just starting to be active will help.
I will have to say, it was... You might actually like it.
No,
when you did it, if you were to do it like back in high school, forget about it. You were not about that one bit at all.
No, I hate stretching.
We couldn't pay you money. You're like, no chance.
No way am I stretching.
And if you did get paid, you wouldn't be into it. But I think you'd be into it now because, I don't know, you could kind of feel like you're in like the Zen place.
I did it with Madison over COVID and it was great.
I just recently did one on Thursday, this past Thursday, because I was like, oh, instead of like lifting, I'm going to like do yoga instead. Because like my apartment complex has like a little free class. I'm not going to try to throw up my back before we go out there on the golf course. I'm going to do that already on the course, obviously. Body freaks out. But I was like, oh, let's just go take it a little yoga. Dude, it was great. Like an hour-long class. It was tough.
It's not easy.
And I'm like, I need more of this. You know, like I need to do it at least once a week.
Right. Maybe we should figure out a little yoga night for the boys to come over and do some stuff together on that.
Got to do something like that. Yeah, it'd be kind of nice.
Cool.
I usually do it pretty. There's something to be said about stretching and like mobilizing and rolling out, as opposed to yoga, where it is like active strength building in your range of motion. Yeah,
it's also like the lengthening of the muscle
with the strengthening and balance.
Yeah, it's a good workout, and I people who are like yogis that are older, they look great.
Yeah, they look really good.
Like people who like just do, like moms who just do yoga, and dads who like, yeah, I do yoga every once in a while. I add in with my weightlifting.
Yeah, and I walk a little bit and yoga. And you're like, dude, you look like you're 20 years younger and you can move really well.
Like you're moving extremely well. Like Chris's dad, I was noticing, is moving very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it's just having balance and being flexible is just another huge key of life.
Well, if you think about it, not to go super too deep here, but like, you know, we sit at the desk and then we go home, you know, and as we get older, then we're like, you know, watch more TV, we're hanging out. Like the extent of our activity is maybe a little bit of yard work, maybe a little bit of like cooking. And, you know, obviously if you lose, you know, you're going to lose a lot of like your, you know, squatting, your calf strength, your shoulder mobility, you know, your neck mobility, like looking over when you're driving, like, you're not really doing anything like that. So if you're not using it, you're obviously just going to lose it and your body just starts getting a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of combating that, right?
I think it's just another tool of defense to help not age me out too quick.
Yeah.
Like being able to bend over and pick up my kid. Like every once in a while in the morning, I'm like, ooh, my back. If I bend over right now and grab some, it's going to be a sharp pain, which you know too well.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I just can't even like stand up without there being pain. It's like, wow, I'm not even 30 yet.
Yeah, we gotta get that figured out.
Dude.
Gotta get that figured out.
I love the 21-day challenge. Did you say you're shooting for 2 days or 1 day at this
2
point?
days.
2 days?
2 days a week.
That's
pretty easy.
I love that.
Not
you know?
easy. It's gonna be tough.
You banging out Sunday, one of those days, then one other time during the week. Real easy.
Right. And then leading us off, we got a couple more. We got our betting segment. We're going to run through this real quick here. Go ahead, and we got the Travelers coming up, buddy. Correct?
We do have the Travelers. And a quick little follow up here. Your boy here dropped the hammer on you.
Yeah, you really did. You really dropped the hammer.
I had Ricky, Rory, Harris English, and then combined finish of an average of fifth. Really solid. And then unfortunately didn't have the week. We kind of flip-flopped. We needed to have the reversals because I got a 12-spot lead right now.
You're sitting at 31. I'm sitting at 43.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm going to be your caddy. We're running out of tournaments, which I'm looking forward to. We'll have video content on that coming soon.
It's going to be fun either way. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So those are the picks for the Open, the U.S. Open, excuse me. And then looking at the Travelers, because it's a designated event, elevated event, whatever you want to call it. I had that first pick, so I went with Patrick Cantley. I just think he's a good guy for this week. He hasn't really been doing a whole lot this season, but why not now, you know?
Right.
And then my second round pick here, I haven't seen a lot of him this year again. But I know how we were looking at the scores and we were looking at some of the past winners, and it was kind of like a narrowish course and not super long because we saw a couple of guys on there that did well last year. And so this guy doesn't bomb it down there, but is very, very accurate. Goes after the pins. That's Sung Jai M. And then another guy I actually want to shout out here real quickly is my third round pick. Been watching him play some pretty decent golf here, and he's a rookie on the tour, but he's 34 years old. Recently broke onto the scene. His mom was an incredible golfer, actually on the PGA Tour. Has a lights out short game. Really, really cool to watch.
That's cool.
Not a big kid. He's like 5'9", I think. He doesn't hit it a long ways. He just grinds. Kind of like a Kevin Kisner, you know, out there.
That'd be cool to watch him hopefully do well.
He's a solid golfer, and he's been in the contention of winning a few times this year already. Like finishing, having some runner-ups, and that's Eric Cole. So mainly just picked him because his name jumped up there as I've been seeing him enough with some tournaments, and so I wanted to give him a quick shout out.
Very cool, buddy. My number one pick, I'm going with the man with the hot stick, going Fowler. Like you said, the Travelers course here isn't very long, so short ball hitters and putters can get hot. I think Fowler is one of the hottest right now. Going with a guy who actually can bomb the course out and maybe really separate himself with his distance, which is Cameron Young.
If that dude's driving is on, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, because he'll be way down there, and hopefully he'll show up for the boy. And then being my third pick here, I went with a guy who did well last year in this tournament, which is Nick Hardy. Just strictly going with it. He played the course once well. Hopefully, again,
catch a little fire.
Yeah, catches a little fire. But yeah, man, great list. Like we said, the loser of this is going to caddy. It looks like I'm going to have to caddy for Andrew. So that'll be fun to do, regardless.
I think it's going to be great for content. Yeah. I can't wait to load my bag up with 17 different drinks I'm going to have you carry. But they're going to be for the both of us, though, okay?
So we're going with 3 worst today.
Yep.
We're going with the 3 worst desserts. You can be specific to an item if it's a wide range, but I'm going to lead us off here.
Okay, take it away. And you mean by you want to be more specific, if you're going to pick a cookie, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and let us know,
Cake, sure.
a fairly common cookie. You know what I mean?
So we're going with 3 worst desserts. My honorable mention here is one that I've never truly understood for as long as I can remember, which is dessert drinks.
Oh, that's such a great pick, dude.
So dessert wine, dessert liquor. I don't really get it.
That's such a great pick.
And people who like that stuff, they just have such a different palate than I do. I just don't know what to do with it.
That didn't even cross my mind. That is, you could have put that in the 1 slot and I would
been understandable.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't enjoy it. Limoncello?
Yeah, none of it. It always leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I always feel queasy afterwards.
There is one drink, though, that I could actually get behind, and if it does kind of fit in the dessert realm, it is the espresso martini.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't think it does because it's a martini with coffee. I don't know how it's dessert.
It's not dessert.
To me, I'm talking dessert wines and dessert drinks.
With you.
Number 3 for me is just my pure hate of loading too much good thing into one thing, which is anything double or triple chocolate.
Yeah.
Triple chocolate cake with, chocolate shavings and chocolate ice cream. I get too chocolate out.
Yeah, that's whenever I see something like that get brought out to the table, I'm like, I'm good. I don't really even need
a bite.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's more of
cake.
It's more of other people being like, "Oh, I got it for the table," and you need to have a bite. Look, I have 8 spoons on the table. All right, damn. Just
get a bite.
Just let.
Thank you for the cake. Thanks for the double chocolate.
Right.
Number 2 for me are pies.
In general,
just pies. I'm not a huge pie guy. There's not many times I'm going towards pie, and pie is extremely hard to do.
It is.
So
I would have pegged you as a big key lime pie.
I like key lime pie, but
because I love key lime pie.
I love key lime pie, but how often is key lime pie around for me to choose for desserts? Never.
I mean, it's good. It's a valid point, but I just
it's always apple or berry or whatever
pecan
pie, pumpkin pie, chocolate pie.
Just chocolate pie.
There's chocolate pie.
Yikes.
And pie you have to almost do homemade, and it has to be hot with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on it.
Yeah, but at that point, let's just move on and let's make a crumble.
Right. You're not wrong. And number 1 for me is a cookie. But number 1 cookie
Whoa.
Shortbread cookie.
Okay. That's totally different.
I hate shortbread cookies.
That is wild. I thought you were going to throw something create a white chocolate macadamia nut.
No.
I know that was not going to be your number 1, but I'm talking I just thought cookie. I'm like, whoa. Hold on a second. So shortbread.
Shortbread cookies.
Okay.
Gingerbread cookies. Any like really tough, buttery
biscuity type of thing.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I hate them.
I don't want anything to do with them.
They're like chalky. Why are they so hard to eat? Like they're not a cookie. They're like a overcooked biscuit. That's my 3, buddy.
And also, I don't understand why they're so buttery.
Right.
And like so high in like calorie content, and they're just so dry and brittle. And so tasteless.
Not enjoyable.
Yeah, I love that, dude. It's really hard to fight against that list. I don't really love desserts to begin with anyways.
Yeah.
But I feel like I love, like, let's not get it twisted over here. I love a good brownie, love a good cookie, love some good ice cream. Like those are staples for me. Right? And
like a bite or two. You're not looking forward to it all day.
Well, if it's a good cookie, I could have 2 or 3 cookies. Right. Yeah, like a brownie. If it's a really good brownie, I can have like a good square.
But you don't have like a sweet tooth.
No, not so much. No. Not so much. It's got to be pretty good for me to kind of dive in. But so yeah, dude. Here's my number 3. I'm with you on the pies.
Right.
And more specifically, my most hated pie is pumpkin pie. It is the worst. And people go nuts for it. And I'm probably gonna catch some heat here. I don't think you're a pumpkin pie lover because the texture is so
like
weird for you.
Pumpkin pie. It just depends where it comes from and how much like whipped cream I'm putting on it.
Yeah, your big just dumps of whipped cream on there and it's fair game.
Yeah, or ice cream. I'll put ice cream with it and I'll kind of crush the pie up into ice cream.
It's never something that ever excites me, and so it's just I never even ask. Like, are you sure you don't want a slice? I'm like, yeah, I'm
good on the pie.
I'm sure. I'm very sure.
Thank you for the pie.
Thank you, but no, thank you. Number 2 slot here for me. This isn't very common, but this is a dessert that if I'm thinking of dessert, I'm going for like, wow, this is like really hitting home on like, this is like a little savory sweet notes. And like, this is like, it's indulgent, right? It's worth the intake of calories and like unhealthiness, right? So this one has so much sugar and like so much, it's so heavy, but it doesn't bring any of those things to me at least. And it's flan.
Yeah. I was giving you my list. A lot of people don't have that for like,
a lot of people love flan.
Right. More often I'm seeing people not like flan. Yeah, flan has to be it has to be done well for it to be good.
Yeah. But it's like caramel and it's egg yolks and it's cream.
Right.
And it's like those are that could not be any more of an unhealthy dessert. And I'm like, I really don't want it. Like I'll have like a bite.
I get you.
But that's about it. And then my number 1 here, again, it's nothing special, but it's just a chocolate cake.
Just a plain old chocolate cake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not...
I mean, cake in general is my number 1. So, but more specifically, though, just chocolate cake. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not a chocolate guy, and I can see that for you. That's a tough number 1 because there's a lot of people who like chocolate cake.
I know.
So,
but it's a dessert that it's like, I have this really great. I'm like, no, I'm good. Trust me, I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna really enjoy it. We're gonna have an awkward moment where I'm gonna pretend like it's good, and then I'm gonna push it to the side and probably just throw it in the garbage can.
Oh my God, give it to your buddy to eat. Well, buddy, episode 20 in the books. Ring it up, put it on the board. It's done. It separates us from the men from the boys.
It sure does.
We are a veteran podcast at this point.
We're seasoned pros, buddy.
Do you have anything for the people here?
Sure. A quick little shout out, little Father's Day this past weekend. It was good stuff. We didn't really quite touch on that, but it was a nice little time. That's always the best thing you have is the U.S. Open and then a little Father's Day on Sunday. So,
love it.
Shout out to the pops and all the fathers out there. It's good stuff. And, I think that's going to wrap us up here, buddy. You sent a really cool stat that was like, it was if you make it 20 episodes, you are in the top
1%.
Top 1%.
Which is cool. I mean, it's still millions and millions of podcasts. Yeah. But it's cool to be in the top 1% of something.
It is cool.
Shout outs to our normal, Devin for editing, Natson for social, Jake for our thumbnails. You guys truly couldn't do it without you. We have so much fun doing this, so thank you. Like, comment, subscribe.
If you haven't done either of those things in these 20 episodes, we've lost hope on you. Just kidding.
But we have. We have. We really need it. So like it, then unlike it, then like it again. Send it to somebody else. Because we don't plan on going anywhere. We're in the Cabbage. And just a reminder, keep swinging.